Curtis coming at you from Ace Per Head Studios. Our first coverage of Week 2 of the NFL's 2021 season. I'm going to open up with my Fins in their disastrous game versus the Bills. Now, Bills fans who pay attention to this channel, I'm going to have a podcast just for you to talk to you guys. But given what we saw, this has got to be between me and my people. I got to do a podcast. I'm still fan activated. The what they call it, the lizard brain is still running the show right here, pretty much half and half. Okay, so this is just for my Fin fans. I'll be the evaluator and the calm guy in a couple hours. Fin fans, I don't like hyperbole. I try to stay balanced. I try to present both half full, half empty. But at this stage, from what we've seen, the Dolphins and their staff need to take a hard look in the mirror. Today's performance by the offense and the staff was inexcusable. Now, there's bad games. There's poor performances. But there's a difference between that and absolute lack of preparation and wisdom. And that's what we saw here today. I'm going to go through Tua's limited appearance. I'm not doing any film yet. Like I said, I'm still charged up, man. I'll get to the film. I'll do a detailed analysis to show you everything. But I got it all written down. And I think that most of you saw what was clear. The announcers were talking about it. It was mind-blowing. Okay? I was wondering if the Fins would double down. The Bills would double down, excuse me. Would they just come out and pass like maniacs? Or would they be wise and start running the football? And they came out and they ran the football. They ran the football to a win. Okay? And that says a lot about them. Instead, we came out and we doubled down. We put Tua in positions to get this kid hurt. Had nothing to do with him. I could talk about his mechanics. He didn't even get a chance to have his mechanics. You talk about the offensive line. But really, they weren't even put into success either. This was about preparation and the staff, offensive staff, preparing these kids to play on an NFL level. It was atrocious. Now, there's no awareness pre-snap. There's very little adjustments and maybe calling the mic. There's very little communication. It's like they come out and just run the play that they got and they call the mic and that's it. And this, I hate to say it, comes back to the doorstep of Brian Flores. I love this guy. I want him to be the coach. I'm not saying get rid of the guy or anything like that, but he made decisions to reach this point. Chad O'Shea he brought in, big win against the Patriots, decides to fire him because players said the offense was too complicated. Brought Shane Gailey in. Signed Fitzpatrick. Mid-season, he says, Tua's not ready. If I was his father, I wouldn't let him play. 2 weeks later, after Fitz wins a big game, pulls Fitz, puts Tua in, and people are saying, oh, Gailey's trying to sink him. And at the end of the year, you hear Tua saying, I really didn't know the playbook. But yet Flores is saying best players play. And I'm seeing holes in his philosophy. Again, I love this guy. I don't want him to go. I'm just calling it like it is. Now I'm going to show a few more of these. So Tua was prepared last year, but he wasn't prepared last year. He was better for the team than Fitzpatrick, but he wasn't better. The guy wasn't healthy. I did hours of film to show it. Okay? So this year, he looks good in preseason. Comes back, has a tough time last week. A lot of that I said was about the play calls, the play designs, the setup, the framework. And I went over and did video. I said, yeah, this kid's mechanics is a little wacky. He needs to fix it, tighten it up. It looked great in preseason. It's not about health now. But the framework concerns me. They need to run the ball. He looks better under center. They can't put so much on this kid. They need to develop him. But I'm going to show you through here that there's serious, serious problems. And as I said, there is no communication. The defense knew something clearly. This is why they brought all this movement on the edge. They had edge pressure because they knew there were no real adjustments. And again, Brian Flores got rid of Shea, got rid of Gailey, brought Studdersfield and Godsey in. And it's not looking good. And Jean-Pierre, I'm a little concerned too, because you're seeing regression from some of these linemen. And some of the choices to start these linemen is baffling, okay? So let me go through the plays, that a few plays Tua had, to show you what's going down, okay? And again, this injury, I'll show clearly it's on the staff, without a doubt. First play of the game. Will Miami double down or get smart? They decide to double down. They run play action, okay? Now, on that play action, Kinley, instead of swinging out, comes inside and helps Dieter. But the problem was the defender came to the line of scrimmage late and it wasn't acknowledged. So Jackson swung out and there were two plays there. You could only pick up one. But that player came to the line of scrimmage and it wasn't acknowledged. So either there was no acknowledgement or Kinley totally blew it. But I didn't see anybody say anything when I think it was like a safety or somebody crept up to the line of scrimmage and the odds on the left side were wrong. So you run a play action with one read. I spoke about this one read stuff. You run a play action, no acknowledgement of a creeping defender that's going to look like a blitzer. I mean, should put a sign on, hey, I'm blitzing. And then on that side, you have one option. So Tua gets sacked because he looks to the other side, he's sacked, okay? But on top of that, Tua sent the tight end in motion from the side of the creeping defender to the other side. They had two people in routes, 7 blockers against 5 guys, and they couldn't wall up one side. How come he moved that tight end? I'm not blaming that kid. I'm not blaming Tua. This offense staff should have set him up to understand that. They should have called something when they saw that. Somebody should have acknowledged to Kinley to slide left. Nothing was done. I gotta look at my stats. I have my notes here because my head's on fire. Okay, so then they line up. I think it was like 4 or something like that. They had Brown out wide. Tua calls him back in to protection. Okay? Comes back into protection on his left side. The guy defending him follows. Before that guy arrives, Tua calls the mic. The wrong mic, I believe, because Brown blocks inside. Outside defender comes in unblocked. Okay? So that time, when you looked at the line, there was 7 possible rushers and 6 defenders. Okay? So he's sacked twice now. That's the end of that drive. Bills get the touchdown. We can get into that defense later, but that's small potatoes. Come back, and guess what? Tua's under center. Gaskin runs the ball, has a big play. Nice run. Then they go back to the bag of bad biscuits and do the Tua rollout with somebody coming underneath for a little shallow out. And every team knows how to do it. You rush Tua, who doesn't have enough speed to get the outside, and you jam or ride the guy coming out. It goes nowhere. Throw the football away. Okay? Then they get a nice play to Parker, but Jackson is downfield. He's running into the stands trying to get some popcorn or something. I don't know. Jackson is a very big focus for me. There's no way this kid should be starting. Eichenberg outplayed him last week. The best game that Austin Jackson had is not even close to Eichenberg's first game. I'm not saying Jackson can't play eventually, but right now, should have been Eichenberg and Davis. But there's something other than best player plays, it appears. Jackson had a terrible day. Show you film on it. It's terrible. So then they do the screen. Nice little screen. You know, Waddle gets it down to 4-2. All right, so they show 4 rushes. It's 5-4. But what they got is Rousseau wide right. Okay, they got Rousseau wide right on Davis. And Davis's main issue is speed rushers. Okay, speed rushers. A creeper comes. Now it looks like 5-on-5. The running back's onto his left. Okay? They don't get the play to be snapped until 3 seconds before it reaches 0. This means they know the Dolphins are passing. They've got 5 on the line just in case a miracle happens and the Dolphins decide to do an inside draw to Gaskin. They've got equal numbers. They're willing to play that. But at 3 seconds, Rousseau knows that ball's getting snapped. I got 3 seconds. He gets the jump. If you go back and watch the tape, every single person on the Bills' defensive line got off the ball before any Dolphin even moved. Not just Davis, everyone across the board. And Tua got jacked. There is no... How do you not know your own players' weaknesses? Why do you sense you could have had anybody in there to chip and go? You could have had a tight end in there to chip and go. It's a 4-2. Protection is the first priority. You got a quarterback who's smallish, who's got an injury history, coming off an epic injury. Why aren't you protecting? Why are you making this kid pass so much when he has trouble calling audibles and calling protections and you're not setting him up? This is inexcusable. It's nuts. I say whatever you want about Tua. They are not setting this kid up right. They should be running the football. They should be teaching this kid simple concepts of reads. Let the defense play. Why are you airing it out when you can't? You can't protect the kid long enough. The kid's not... I actually saw Brissett call and run audible in the second half. Through 2 games, that was the only one I'd ever called. I seen called. Tua never called. I mean, I could be wrong. I'll go back and check, but I do not recall it. Flores wanted simple. This is what you got. If you want to run simple, you need to have the Dallas offensive line. This is not fair to Tua. I don't know how good he can become, but he ain't going to become anything with a framework like this. Nothing is. This is such poor display. When the announcer says, I mean, we were talking about in the first 5 minutes, there was so much edge pressure unpicked up, and the announcer's like, oh, that's not anybody's fault. That's when the announcer says that. That's bad. It's so obvious. The Bills noticed that. That's why they did it. Because they were taking candy from a baby. I got to flip my page. Usually I like to keep them on both sides, but I'm livid. Livid. That's a good college word for me right now. Livid. Okay. You're seeing a regression from Hunt. Hunt is struggling. He's a premier player who did pretty well last year. Why is he struggling? Kinley was in and eventually got pulled for Robert Jones. Again, Jackson was a turnstile the entire game. It was ugly. Not as ugly as preseason, because I don't think anything could be that ugly, but it was pretty close. How did Eichenberg not play? How did he not play someplace? I thought it was best players, the players that give you best chance for success. How do you not protect your 5th overall pick? I mean, everything's invested in this guy. You know? And he'll take heat, and he'll say, oh, it isn't that. He's got bruised ribs. How long? But you got to start at the staff. Got to start. Little was inactive. I don't think Little could do any worse than Jackson. Gaskin, 5 for 25. Another 5-yard day for carries. But he's got 10 rushes in 2 games. Brown, 5 for 21, 4.2. You can see this kid. You know, if you like Jones that much, bring him in. The kid's huge, 6'4", 322. Get something going. Run the football. And that's another thing. You want to make fun of the offensive line? How do you say, you know, we're going to pass all day? Oh, okay. We know what you're going to do. We've seen what you're going to do. Just rush. If there's a run in there and occasionally let it happen, they're just going to go back to the pass 24/7. Got a quarterback who's young. He's trying to figure it out. He's not making adjustments. It makes no sense. I'm sorry, Finn fans, if maybe I'm wrong in certain areas, but this was absolutely juvenile. JV, I'm a nobody. I'm no wise seer, but if I can see these things, and you can see through my videos, what do you think these pros, these professional players and coaches who do this all day long for decades, they're salivating. You know, okay, Ahmed, 6 carries for 17 yards, 2.8. But this offense is a disaster. Now you got Fuller, possibly won't be here. All the drops. Look, Parker made a drop in the end zone. That was a big drop. But you can't take this. Parker's the best receiver we got, except for Waddle, who's probably going to pass him. Waddle had his little drop over there, whatever. Still, you got Waddle and Parker. Albert was always inconsistent before, but he made some big plays. It's worth taking a little shot here and there and see how he does. But he's your 3rd guy. You know, Preston Williams showed up, and maybe he can develop into something. But Fuller's not going to be around. I don't think. Deleted his Facebook. Something's going on. But even still, you can have the best receivers in the world. If you can't block, you can't call protections, you don't run the football, you're going to get blitzed and sacked out of existence, as we saw today. Now, I think things can change. You know, you got to see a little bit. Brissett is talents are limited, but his savviness, his ability to direct, stay calm under pressure, you could see that, all right, he gets, but there's still a cap with the way the whole system's been built up, the whole design. You got top picks that aren't performing. You're not playing your best players. You're not calling to protect your quarterback. You're not creating an intelligent, aware, flexible offense. Offense is supposed to have the initiative. That's the primary power asset of the offense, the initiative. But if you come to the line of scrimmage and all you're doing is calling the mic and this is what we're running, then the defense gets to dictate and you go nowhere. Please forgive me. This is Fan Curtis. I try to keep some evaluation statistics. I love my team. Some people say I'm hard on Tua. I love the kid. Good kid. I want to see him succeed. Doesn't mean he's going to. I love my team. I love Flores. But there is a serious, serious issue. What we saw is not seen very often. The lack of communication to be able to pick up blitzes and stuff like that. It's just like, this is preseason stuff. Very nerve-wracking. Defense, I'll get that to the later date. I'm fried. I got to save my juice for saying good game to the opponent and some other videos. I'm going to go and watch some more Finn film tonight. Hopefully I can find out that I'm just a madman, an upset fan. Very disappointing. Hope Tua's okay. Very, very, very. The Dolphins need to take a strong look and change core aspects quickly, or this will be a season that gets away from them. I knew it would be tough in the beginning. This is not tough. There's core issues. Anyway, Finn fans, stay strong. Your team isn't going anywhere. Whatever happens, Flores is a good coach. There's some great pieces to this. It can turn around. It can. Just got to hope it will soon. Sooner rather than later. Anyway, I'll be more positive after the fan gets out of me. Thank you for staying to the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Note this comes from passion and love. A lot of passion, a lot of love. Long time Finn fan. And just subscribes in the comments. I'm so flustered. I can't remember how to close this thing out. The subscribes and the likes help us with our analytics. Comments don't mean the most to me. I really do. And I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Ace Per Head. They want to let you know that with their world-class software, you can become a local bookie with your friends, family, schoolmates, coworkers, everyone you know to get in on the action. And they are phenomenal. They are phenomenal. They might have to send me a psychologist by the after today. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thank you for staying to the end. Catch you next time. I'll be strong. Be well and go Fins.